King Charles to remain very strong after extremely rude gesture by Lidia Thorpe, ridiculous. King Charles will remain very strong and continue to do his best for Australia after being confronted by Senator Lidia Thorpe, it has been claimed. The indigenous senator for Victoria stormed the British monarch's address to Parliament in Canberra during his first trip to the country as head of state. Before being escorted out of the building by security, Thorpe told the monarch to give us our land back, declaring "You are not my king" in a rage-filled display against the monarch. Reacting to the demonstration, Levin defended the king and affirmed that he will be very strong despite the unpleasant and ridiculous confrontation. Hello viewers, please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. Levin explained, King Charles knows that there are people who actually want to grab a lot of attention, who are a little bit off their rocket, as you could call it, and he would just carry on. Camilla next to him was smiling in a way to say, oh gosh, here we go. He's very strong, and he's used to things like this. Highlighting how Charles and Camilla have had such a warm welcome from Australia so far, Levin claimed that the protest will not affect the king, branding Thorpe's actions ridiculous. She told GB News, he's had such a wonderful welcome, there were thousands of people outside the church yesterday, and people are delighted to have seen him. So here, this is one person who is quite honestly ridiculous. Levin also revealed that Thorpe had attempted to cause a scene at the Australian War Memorial, where King Charles and Queen Camilla were visiting. Levin revealed, she tried to make a big show of herself yesterday at the Australian War Memorial, and police were trying to stop her and she was fighting with them and screaming at the same time. So she pulled off her jumper, which is what he was hanging onto, and ran away. She obviously thought, well, I'll try again tomorrow. In criticism of Thorpe's determination to disrupt the King and Queen's tour of Australia, Levin fumed, we mustn't take too much notice of extremely rude, unpleasant people. Nowadays the senators are voted in by popular votes, they're not just chosen. And so I hope that the public there will think that she's not the right person to choose ever again. When asked by host Ben Leo about the King's efforts to go ahead with his Australia tour despite his ongoing cancer treatment, Levin said the monarch does his best for Australia as their head of state, and it will cost their nation millions to get rid of him. Levin added, this is his 16th visit to Australia, and you can tell he really wants to come because he's not well and he's still having his cancer treatment, which he stopped especially so that he won't get too tired and he can manage all that's going on. They are going to do 30,000 miles actually in these next 10 days, and they're trying to get through 10 things a day, splitting off so that Camilla will go one place, he will go the other. If they want to take a vote on whether they should get rid of him, it will cost them £150 million. So it's just really down to rudeness and lack of politeness and being very unpleasant to a man who actually does his best. In other words, not a long commute to the drawing room. However, the king had enough energy to deliver an informal, but powerful, speech to the New South Wales Parliament House earlier today, which is celebrating the bicentenary of its Legislative Council. The king said, what a great joy it is to come to Australia for the first time as sovereign, and to renew a love of this country and its people which I have cherished for so long. Despite his health battles, the king clearly has a deep affection for the country where he reigns as head of state and wanted to come here in person to immerse himself in different communities. Busier days lie ahead on this royal tour, and it appears His Majesty is walking before he starts running. Perhaps the king is familiar with the fable The Tortoise and the Hare, and its famous moral, slow and steady wins the race. King Charles' unconventional hobby he shares with Kate Middleton. King Charles is renowned for his love of the outdoors. From championing sustainability to painting picturesque landscapes and crafting award-winning gardens, the monarch has a long-standing fascination with nature. Charles's private residence, Highgrove House, is home to a kaleidoscopic wildflower meadow teeming with 120 different plant species and 30 beehives. The bees produce a royal garden honey that can be purchased from the Highgrove Gardens website. The monarch also has treasured beehives at Clarence House and Buckingham Palace. According to The Independent, each hive contains an estimated 20,000 bees. The royal mother of three brought a jar of honey from the hives for schoolchildren to sample during a visit to the Natural History Museum's Biodiversity Hub in June 2021. In honor of World Bee Day last year, Kate surprised fans with a rare snapshot of herself rocking a full beekeeping suit and Wellington boots. The picture showed a beaming Kate carefully tending to a hive frame teeming with bees. At the time, she wrote, "We are buzzing about #World Bee Day. Bees are a vital part of our ecosystem, and today is a great opportunity to raise awareness of the essential role bees and other pollinators play in keeping people and the planet healthy." Queen Camilla is also a keen apiarist. Her Majesty produces her own honey at her Wiltshire home, Raymill House, which is then sold at Fortnum and Mason to raise money for charity. In 2020, the royal became president of Bees for Development, a charity that reduces poverty and improves biodiversity in over 50 countries around the world through training beekeepers, creating a network of resources, and protecting bee habits. Meanwhile, during a visit to Launceston, Cornwall, in 2022, Camilla met honey producers and told them she was a hands-on beekeeper and had only lost one colony during the previous winter. Kate's brother James loves nothing more than tending to his bees. The father of one was given his first beehives by his parents, Michael and Carol Middleton, and sisters Kate and Pippa Matthews. On his 24th birthday, they clubbed together to buy James a beehive, which he later described as the most fantastic birthday gift imaginable. Writing for the Daily Mail in 2020, he said, "On a warm summer's day there are few places on earth I'd rather be than tending my bees. I've been a passionate advocate of these ingenious, industrious little creatures, since I became a beekeeper myself nearly a decade ago, having fallen for them as a child. I now have almost 500,000 bees in 8 hives in a meadow at our family home, Bucklebury Manor in Berkshire." King Charles sends subtitle message to Meghan and Harry, suggesting a possible royal return. A reunion may be on the cards between King Charles and his son the Duke of Sussex, despite all the animosity between the pair in recent years, an expert claims. An expert claimed that King Charles had delivered a hidden message to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex suggesting a possible re-entry into the royal world, last year. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments, and most importantly don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.